Biden White House continuing to hammer the message that voters should be scared about the prospect of another 4 years of President Trump and what they say is the threat that he poses to democracy. Let's go over and watch the ladies on The View, folks. Watch.
We've got a guy right now, the former president, running for office, openly saying that he promises to essentially be a dictator.
Right.
A person running to enter back into the White House who is proud that he stripped Americans, women, of the right to make decisions about their own body. A person running to become the commander-in-chief who is admitting he would weaponize the Department of Justice. I am scared as heck. But as we know, and certainly this is a table of very powerful women, we don't run away from something when we're scared. We fight back against it.
Brian Kilmeade joins us, co-host of Fox and Friends and host of One Nation on Saturdays at 9 p.m. And Sean Duffy, co-host of The Bottom Line and Fox Business and former Wisconsin congressman. Welcome to you. So Brian, about this pitch to embrace the fear, is this a successful way to run in this race? You see the vice president there chatting with the extraordinarily intelligent ladies of The View, as she characterized them.
And they're hoping the people watching aren't extraordinarily intelligent, like the people of The View. Because if you looked at this thing he said to Sean Hannity, I'll be a dictator for one day. I want you to drill it. I want you to build the wall. He said the other day, hey, listen, I know it's cold out. I want you to go and vote. And even if you pass away, at least you cast a vote for it. He said it a throwaway line. They had a whole hours on the other networks on he doesn't care if you die voting for him. All he cares about is himself. And I think you alienate a lot of people when you do that. If you're Trump, though, just don't give them anything anymore. Don't even count on them understanding sarcasm. Just do it the way you had your victory speech. Hey, I love Nikki. I love. It was so good to see Ronnie. They really had fun together. I mean,
the first time he called them both by their actual names.
And just do that where it's okay. I'm not going to put my chin out. I'm not going to be an easy shot anymore. But I just think it's a comic book thing for the vice president to come out there and act as if those were serious threats is comedy.
Well, what's interesting, Sean, is that they feel like this is their best tact, right? To sort of embrace these comments, take these snippets out of the things that he says. You don't see her sitting there talking about what an amazing job she has done as vice president and the fact that she is creating a legacy for the future of the Democrats.
That's right. So it's interesting, though. She's talking about weaponizing the Department of Justice. Does anyone look back and see what they've done to Donald Trump, weaponizing the Department of Justice? That's exactly what they've done. But I think these attacks would work, Martha, if we didn't have 4 years of Donald Trump. I mean, people saw what he was in the White House. Yes, he says things tongue-in-cheek, Brian, and he's a little off color, and he says some mean things. But the results were nothing like a dictator. He gave more power back to people and back to states to let them make decisions. He wasn't consolidated in power in Washington. That's what Joe Biden has done. But he was giving power back to people. That's the exact opposite of a dictator.
So let's talk about this issue of Vivek Ramaswamy. And you hear the people chanting, Veep, Veep, Veep. I'd love to get from both of you who you think the best pick for him would be, given what he needs, because we all see in the polling, a Biden-Trump matchup is something that a lot of Americans said they don't want to see, and it looks very close. So, Brian, what should he do? Well,
I think that Vivek Ramaswamy, in many ways, is just a younger carbon copy of him. He's a great communicator, be good to go to college campuses, great to confer with. How does this sound? They both know the business world and what frustrates them about the political world. Fine. That's not going to help him. I think what helps him is Elise Stefanik. I think having a woman on the ticket would be great. Number two, Kristi Noem, a very self-assured woman that's actually run a state that understands the issues. And the third one would be Byron Donalds. To me, though, the perfect pick would be Elise Stefanik. She's a pit bull. She understands Congress and might be able to go like a hammer and maybe get some things through.
Well, I mean, an argument could be made, Sean, that all three of those people don't expand his, they're not picking up extra votes for him, which may exist in a more moderate lane.
So I don't think he's going to pick, by the way, Elise Stefanik. I think you want to expand the base. You're right, Martha. He has to win suburban women. And so how do you soften the image? And I think, I hate to play, sexist politics, but I think he needs a woman on the ticket, is what he needs. But going back to Vivek, I don't think anyone communicates the America First agenda better than Vivek, even better than Trump. He's remarkable at it, but that doesn't mean he has to be the VP pick.
But is that going to pick up women voters? And I agree with you. I hate to say, oh, we'll pick a woman, but a person who can get voters who are some of those voters in the suburbs in Michigan, in Arizona, in Georgia, who voted for Trump the last time and say they won't go there again. But maybe they would if the other half of the ticket was somebody that they'd like to see come next. It
always doesn't matter, but I think with Donald Trump and some of his the tone and language he uses, a woman does matter.
What about Nikki Haley?
No, I think they're diametrically opposed politically. She's an old school George Bush Republican. She's a neocon. I don't think he goes there. He's going to pick someone more in line with him, but maybe a little softer.
Kennedy and Johnson hated each other.
What's that?
Kennedy and Johnson hated each other, and he picked him as he was VP. I'm not saying they hate each other. I don't know. Yeah.
Right, and Bush and Reagan were very similar, but Bush was able to bring in the people that didn't vote for Reagan. Bush 41 anyway.
It's going to be very interesting. I think it's a very significant part of the equation.
Also, Lee Zeldin's being vetted right now.